once again. Can't keep away from StreamYard right now. I'm sitting here once again in my office. This time the haul is from this Saturday just gone, which was the 27th of August. I was trying to find the sheet where I'd written what I'd spent, and of course, like all things in this universe, for me today, it's gone AWOL. It's one of those days, so I thought, you know what, just do this anyway, get it recorded, get it out there, and then people who get bored can have a look. There'll be one more haul after this, which I will do later in the week, which will be from Sunday, because I went to the same boot sale on a Saturday and on a Sunday. But I was very busy this morning. I had 22 things to post out. And, of course, as in the true nature of things, there was one thing I couldn't find. The joy of having slightly longer dispatch times does help me with stuff like that. So, I will start anyway. And as people join in, do say hello, do comment. Join in. It's all fun. So, what did I find? Oops. First thing I found is what's going to go in the bundle, but I'm hoping my son will read this first. And it's a Stephen King book. I think I paid 50p for it. I'm sort of assembling a Stephen King collection because it's the kind of thing that I think is going to get my son back into reading. He's just about to go into year 11 and gets very little time. But reading helps him get off to sleep. And I'm not sure you really want to go to sleep to Stephen King's The Institute, but there you go. Nice bit of horror, well written. This is a hardback one, and it looks like it's the first edition. It's not valuable, but what I may end up doing is when he's read them all, and when I've probably read them all, they may end up getting bundled, because I'm sure someone will really enjoy them. All right, so there was that. That wasn't really profit-making. Hello, two peoples. I'm assuming a lot of people are kind of back in worky work mode because the bank holiday is over. I found one of these. Most unexpected. I did pay £3 for it. I do remember forking out £3 or £2 or £3. I've never had one of these before. I don't do much of games, but it's in beautiful condition. It's the wooden box version, which I believe is worth some money. And I had a little looky-see inside. Is the board broken? Atlantic Hills? No, that's all perfectly fine. It looks like it's been played, but it's been very well looked after. I'm going to have to go through and check that all of the bitsies are here, because, as I say, the little baggies have been opened, the hotels, the houses, but the rules are in there, which is lovely. The 2 die are in there, which is lovely. There's a decent amount of money in there. Also lovely. Yeah, so I've got a bit mixed up. There we go. It's the community chest, and then there's chance, isn't there? There's the other cards. I wonder where they've gone. Yeah, this is a very nice quality version of it, I have to say. Oh, there's the chance cards. Chance cards are in different colour orange. All of the property cards. I mean, I'll do a check to see if it's 100% complete. Clearly before I trundle off and proclaim it as such. But it's rather nice. I'm sure the money is smaller than I remember it being when I played Monopoly, but then that was many years ago. I seem to have a sticky security label, which I think we probably don't need. What I thought was rather fetching is that all the little counters are in brass, because they're usually silver tone, aren't they? So you've got a thimble, a top hat, don't mind if I do, love a top hat, little car, little old-fashioned car. My father had one like this, used to race it till he came a cropper. Right, a little doggy, a boot, of course, we all remember the boot, and a little steam train. So it's a bit of a steampunk version, I think, of Monopoly. But I was quite pleased to find it because it's not the sort of thing I normally see, and I was fairly early at this boot fair, so I scooped it up, hoping I do quite well with that. Maybe nearer Christmas, nearer that sort of season. Now, I've been silly. I haven't made a space to put things in. This office is ramming with stuff because I'm listing like the Furies or making drafts like the Furies. So they can all go on over the next month or so because I have a very busy September coming up. My sister's wedding, which has turned into quite a production. Put Artist Park out there, it's quite a production. And it'll be lovely, but it's sort of eating into my September, as well as little events like son going back to school and that kind of thing. He has a birthday in there somewhere as well. So, nice busy September. So really, that's the odds and ends. So we're back into clothes. As you know, I'm happily stocking up on winter stuff. I was very delighted to buy this. I think I probably paid... I'm not sure. I can average the price out. Not a huge amount for it, but it is Barber. But it's one of these supremely light, and it's in very good nick as well. It's very light, down-filled things. We're all going to need these for winter, probably indoors as well as outdoors. There we go. All the necessary bits and pieces that show you it's real. And this is called... Is it now? The original Barber winter tartan, with the only bit of tartan that's there. Tiny bit of tartan. How very odd. Fibre down. Also, okay, so maybe it hasn't got feathers. Maybe it's something else. But it is a size 16, which is a nice size to find. Do prefer to find slightly bigger sizes. What I do have to do is one of the pockets has been gone through. So what I would normally do is trim off rough edges and then rehem it. So the pocket then functions. It smells nice too, surprisingly, something that's come out in the middle of the season. So I was quite pleased with that. And that's like, oh, Barber again. Not all Barber is worth a lot of money. This I am finding out because I don't normally find it in quantity. But hey ho. I've got some summary things that, if they're going to sell, they need to go on now. Oh, good evening, Jerry. How's your day been? And you're just back from the post office. Yes, we haven't got one anymore here. But I put things in those Dropbox type things. I always tried to avoid the post office at the very best of times. Our post office was not a place you'd really want to hang out. Hello, Andrea. Hope you're well, lovely. Hope Jeff's doing great and that everything is going to plan. Right, again, these are more summary, but I picked them up because they were quite unusual, quite nice design, and they're Jigsaw, which is a nice brand. There may be people taking their holidays in September because people do to avoid the kids. These are 100% linen, and I believe they're a cropped wide leg trouser. So I don't mind putting all seasons on at all time of year, and I have sold so many jumpers and cardigans and shrugs and blankets and things for cold weather. So I'm not going to knock that. Quite happy that they were all enlisted. This is something else again. I picked it up because I really liked it. We sort of moving past this season. But look at this. It's got a zip all the way down the back. A bit cheeky. Which you can sort of undo, I suppose, to make a walking... I'm thinking. She says, look at this very carefully. Yes, you can undo it as high as you dare. Yeah, Fab Weekend at Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast. Try and avoid COVID rush. Yeah, because it's kind of heading into early spring, I'm imagining. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Even if it's signed for, then they should track it anyway, and it will go into the system. But I just can't spend the time in a post office. It's time. When you get to this sort of scale, it ends up being time. And you just kind of build it into your business model if there's going to be the odd thing when that happens. But yeah, if you've got a nice post office with helpful staff and all that, then yes, absolutely. The reason I picked this up is not only is it linen, has a nice little ruffle on the front, but it is Nicole Fari. I just got to see her there. There she is. So it's nicely made. And again, that could quite easily do into autumn. Just depending. I like things made out of linen. I don't know, this isn't particularly summery, but the colour of this is amazing. Proper Cadbury's purple. It's in silk, because I love silk. I will buy natural fabrics because I love them. It's mango though. I don't know if it was part of a two-piece, and it's definitely got that 90s vibe. With a nice sleeve on it. And I'm pretty sure I picked this up because it was silk. It's a small, so it's going to be a sort of an 8, I would say, 6 to 8. And are you silk? I think you probably would be. I'm not sure I'd pick you up if you weren't. Yeah, 95% silk with 5% elastane, which is even better because there's a bit of stretch. Makes it much more wearable. So that is a fabulous colour. I do pick things sometimes purely for style or because I like the fabric that it's made from. Right. Okay, back to the more wintry things, like I say. I'm moving away from summer. I've got a pair of jeans here. They are diesel, and these were stupidly cheap, so I kind of picked them up. Positive news. Everything crossed, Andrea. Everything. I don't know if this is a good, because there's different types, isn't there? Width 29, length 30, Craver. Regular slim carrot. Okay, very descriptive. I can look that up. I'm assuming that's, is it a ladies or a man's? Very hard to tell with jeans. I suspect they might be a ladies, but I will look them up, and they're going to make me more than the 50p or a pound I pay for them, so worth a punt. I know there are particular diesel models, shall we say, that do particularly well, but I'm not sure that's one of them. Ooh. Yes, moving into jumper territory. There we go. It's got a little bit of bobbling, which I will deal with. Bit of the field has ended up with it, but as far as I could tell, it had no holes. And believe you me, even when you try and check thoroughly, there are still ones that slip through. I like the colour, nice and bold, and it's a Jack Wills, which I don't always bother picking up, but it is extra fine merino wool, which I think people will appreciate and like because it's not scratchy, but it is warm. And we're all going to need a bit of warm this winter. Hoping it's not going to be a hard winter. It needs to be wet, doesn't it? But not too cold. So we can replenish the reservoirs again. Everyone's holding their breath for Nick and Andrea on that. Yeah, 100% merino. So, yeah, I thought that was reasonably good quality. And again, it wasn't particularly expensive. I'm reckoning, actually, when I think about it, that everything that I bought today cost me about £50. I know I didn't go much over that. I'll debubble that later. Oh, I love this. Now this was a lovely find. I seem to have managed to brush against something a bit grubby, so I'm probably going to have to wash these. Just something dusty. It's not a permanent mark. See, look what I've done there. Yeah. Anyway, I will sort that because that's something that I added on. But this is Ralph Lauren. And this was, I think, about £3. Ralph Lauren. Polo Jeans Company. Nice and thick. Shawl collar. Men's, I'm assuming. It just needs brushing off. It's like a fine dust. I brushed against something foolishly. But what a cool sweater. I'm assuming and hoping that cable knit will still be in because it was last year. And I think people haven't moved away from it. And this nice chunky feel. Yeah, I'm going to do something with that. Lovely. I think that's all wool as well. Let me just double check. Oh, man, what did I? I reckon it got brushed against something. It's an extra large and it is 100% wool. So that's all good. That probably or may very well pay for the lot. It does look cozy. It's quite soft as well. Some people like their wool to be very kind of like hair shirty, kind of scratchy, but most of us don't. If I could wear wool, that is. And here we go. Barber number 2 of the day. Natural weather jacket. This is a nice cord jacket. Again, not typical of what I think of as being Barber, which probably means it's not worth so much. But it's a great khaki colour. Nice big pockets these. No old tissues left in them. That's always a relief. Yep. And it's a zip as well as a button. Oh, yeah, it was stand corrected. So, quite nice. Now, I think that's possibly a lady's. Yes, it is. It's a 14. That's quite big for a 14. Big and roomy. I'm not really a Barber kind of girl, not these days. But cord, anyway. And quite a nice style, so I'm hoping that the barbered weather jacket, let's make sure it's got all the right. They have a lot of labelage inside usually. I say usually, they don't always. Sometimes they stuff it inside a pocket. But this isn't one of the ones that's like to be faked. In fairness, it's more the wax jackets, isn't it? Which I come across very occasionally. Utility baby cord, this one's known as. So, like I say, I haven't done research on these because I haven't got around to drafting them yet. Utility baby cord. Helpful when they give it a name and the style. And this looks slightly weathered. It has, but it's meant to look that way. That's its look. So I was quite pleased with those. I think I might have paid $15 for both, if I remember correctly. But like I say, I've been to another one since then, so yeah, I picked this up because it's COS, and it's a very plain, deeply plain, but useful kind of a dress to have. It's just a big, actually, it's a slight bubble hem to it because it goes out and in again. So it's not too plain. But again, it's a size extra large. Extra large. That is the tiniest printing I've ever seen. Excuse me while I use a leaf to see if it is. Maybe it isn't extra large. Maybe it's extra small. Okay, it's meant to be very, very big then. Because that's quite voluminous for an extra small. So that's a Largan look. But it's COS. And the people who like COS. I personally think it's as dull as ditch water, but that's just me. Has no shape. Which is fine if that's your bag and you want something that gives you more of a covered in feel, I suppose, or you can layer it. Doesn't suit me at all, sadly, although I like the quality of the brand. This is going to need a debobble. I don't pick up all white stuff, but this has the bobbles on, which I think people quite like. It's in a nice khaki green, which never goes out of style. It's a size 12, and I think it's 100% wool. I'm pretty sure it will be. There we go. Spare button. How lovely. Oh, okay. It's not 100% wool. It's 80% lamb's wool with 20% nylon, which is fine. It was more the style. I know people like these. I've had them before. They sell for decent money, but it does need some work doing on the bobbles. It has many bobbles, and not just the big ones. Okay. Next, something grey and again a little bit dull. However, I'm not going to turn down dull when it's Oscar. Don't often find Oscar. I've done quite well these last couple of weeks. This is, again, it's a tunic dress that I've managed to get dust over the back of. So you do that and it all comes off. How could I be so careless? I think what happened, I was walking back to the car, I must have brushed past some old bit of furniture or something, and they all got a bit covered. But anyway, this is a kind of a dress thing, a tunic, Largan look style. I think this is a size 2, which is, I don't know what the size 2 is in Oscar. I think it's a reasonable size. Maybe it's a 12 to 14, somewhere like that. But it's got a lot of volume to it. And this has pocketses, which people likes their pocketses. And this is, it's telling me I can machine wash it, which I might well have to actually. Oh, it's hemp and cotton. Love a bit of hemp. So there we go. That's probably more of a summery one, but again, it's a layering piece. So we'll cross over into autumn. It looks like it's had a slight repair on that pocket. Not the best repair in the world, so I might have to redo that. But someone will probably still want it, even if I sell it for very little money. It's fine. It's all fine. I don't often pick up jackets on their own. Try not to. But this was a linen one, or cottony linen one. It's a bit creased up now. Sadly, it's been in the bag. But a nice modern 2-button style. I just thought it could be worn with jeans or something. It doesn't have to be. And it is 100% linen on the outside. It's a 42 regular chest. And it is French connection, which is quite, quite expensive new. But I figured that would probably do somebody as a could work for smart casual, which I have on being part of the suit. Some loose thread down there. I have to deal with those in a minute. Oh, I see why. Right, that's for the vent at the back. So I've obviously just snipped the thread and not removed it, which is very silly. This is probably a little out of season, but again, I didn't mind picking it up. It's St. Michael, Marks and Spencer's. It's meant to be a 12. It's clearly only really now going to fit a size 8 to 10. But it's quite a nice quality pleated crepe maxi skirt, probably. Maxi. Yeah, that looks the right length for maxi. And I think that sort of thing. Pleated skirts, I think, seem to be fairly popular. And here we go. This was mad. I mean, eye-popping? How mad is this? The dress. Kind of a button-down version. And weirdly, I mean, this really is quite day-glow. I've got to say, pink and red together. It's vintage. It's 100% pure wool, which surprised me. And it's by this make, which I don't know, but I'm thinking it's probably fairly good quality because it's made in Ireland. Donald Davis. I'll investigate that, but that was me going, that is so mad, I have to have it. Because there's not going to be another one of those on eBay. That's for sure. So, I don't know how that will do. It'll certainly be warm. And you'll probably heat everyone in a 50-mile radius with that. Practically nuclear. Tea needed. Right. Getting towards the end of the clothing, and then I've got some jewelleries to show you. I'm finding this brand is not doing too badly. Wool lovers. Anyway, this is a long cardigan with a nice patterning red on it in blue. Yeah, that dress is something else, Rebecca, isn't it? It truly is. It says it's a small. It's one of these sort of doesn't fasten at the front coatigan cardigan things, but someone will want that this coming season. It's got pockets ears, which I think is essential, and it is pure new wool. So again, the quality of the fabric is part of what persuaded me to go with that. Yeah. I should knew what I'd done with a bit of paper with my stuff. Bits is in here is the jewelleries I bought. I can't tell you exactly how much I paid because, like I say, it was one of those days. Didn't pay a lot for anything. That was the idea. I might have paid £1 for this. This is actually, is it Monet or Napier? I think it's Monet. God, everything's so tiny when I was a child. Where are you? Somebody signed you. You just look at something. I cannot see it. Cannot see it for looking. Napier. There we go. Say one and it's the other one. But it's for cream. It's kind of a classic sort of look, really. Not particularly to my taste, but there were people who very much like Napier. And they're worth picking up if they're cheap enough because you never know. Might be one that one of those people in the United States is collecting because it seems to be getting very collectible. So, there is that. things in little boxes again. Did I pay £1 for these? I might have done. These are earrings in that lovely panther chain style. One set are for pierced ears, and strangely, the other set, they probably don't really belong together. The other set are clippies, the longer ones. So they're not actually, they haven't got a branding on them, but they're in that style, and they may very well go into a bundle, but I don't mind picking up things that are nice. These are very sort of classic, sort of understated, and because they're usually gold plated, and that's why they look so lovely. If the condition's good, there's a market for them for sure. Okay. Oh, I love this. Again, it's not for me to wear. It's not my style, but I love it because this is a nice chain. One of these twisty chains. And on the end is this little thing. I'm thinking, NR, what's that? NR. Anyway, turns out it's Nina Ricci. It's like a little box, and it does say Nina Ricci on the bottom, and it also says it on the chain. And if I can see something's got a branding or a name, and it's in really good condition, and this clearly looks like it's never been worn, I figured that's kind of cool. I don't know if anyone collects Nina Ricci stuff, but the stuff's pretty high quality. There's little rhinestones in there. Unusual. Vintage. So it had to be mine, really. Just can't resist. Can't resist. What else have we got in the little box? Oh, yes, I don't want to mix it up with anything else. So we'll do that. I'll stick stuff in as we go. It's me trying to keep things separate and not losing them. Okay. These were interesting. I paid £1.50 for these. I wasn't sure if they were going to be silver, but they are Disney little bangles. That is just a bangle with a little Mickey, and it says UI on it. UI. And this one is a little Mickey with, on the claspy bit, another little Mickey inside it with rhinestones. I haven't tested these yet because, like I say, I only got them home the other day. Whether they're actually silver or silver plate, I've got a funny feeling they might be silver plate. Maybe this one's silver. Yeah, my instincts are telling me that they might not actually be silver. But you know, when you're in a flea market, boot fair, kind of rummaging through, it's not always easy to tell. So I took a punt on those. So I will do some testing later. In the bottom of a rummage box, this tiny little locket. This wasn't gold, it's rolled gold. It's very, very bashed around. Very, very bashed around. But he had a little picture in of, oh, you know, how sad is that? A little picture of some old fella. I just kind of think, oh, where did it come from? What's its story? And why is it so bashed about? It was probably 50p or 20p or something like that. So I couldn't leave it behind. Pair of earrings that this was an error because I thought they were worth picking up because I really thought the crystals were good, and they might very well be Swarovski elements, but they're actually M&S earrings. So you think you see writing somewhere, when you haven't got your glasses on, you take your chances. But little hearts, they're really quite stunning. So, you know, yes, technically a fail, but they'll end up in a lot, or someone will end up buying them and love them. And then I keep picking these things up because I love them. They are mother of pearl, and these are in really nice condition. Nice mother of pearl. Sometimes they get more frosted up. Definitely vintage. Pop over the head style. There's no clasp on these. Nope. There we go. They may end up in a vintage lot, or they may not, but I thought they were lovely. I love these. I will sell these all day long. These like the Scottish. I'm not sure they are actually stones. I think they may be glass. I'm going to look at them, but I mean, they are like the miracle sort of stones that you find in brooches. And that's a really nice long flapper length necklace, and it feels good quality. That has a barrel clasp, so that's rather good. And not quite the final bit. I think I got these while filtering through a very large box of assorted rubbish. This is glass, but I thought the colour was so amazing. It's got a slight ripple in the glass, so it's definitely vintage. But what a colour. It's actually a little more muted than it's coming out on the screen. But just a very unusual shape, which is part of the reason why I thought, I love those. The final thing had me puzzled. This was literally at the bottom of the box. It was very grubby. And it's very difficult to show because I haven't got... I thought, is that a heart? It's a very squished heart. No, it hasn't got the point at the bottom. It's a bit... But I'll tell you something, it's solid. That is a puffy heart that is solid silver. And yes, it is silver and it's fully hallmarked. And my researchers have shown me that it is Links of London because it's LL and then all the full hallmarks. And I can see from the quality of it, this is genuine. So, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that because that's clearly got some good resale value. It's just so... It seems so small and insignificant when I found out that, well, it might be silver, might not. Take it anyway. Take a punt for me, 20p or 50p or whatever it was. And that was that particular haul. Now, obviously, depending on who's here, I can continue because I've done half an hour, and I could just rock on with what I picked up yesterday. You know, seeing as we're here. Also, I'm going to be fairly busy tomorrow, so it might be worth me cracking on now. If everybody's okay with that, let me know. I'll move these over and get some new stuff. I just blocked myself in. That's very silly of me. Oops. Here's yesterday's lot. This has still got its receipt with it. I think this was yesterday. £54.50. £54.50. That's what I spent. And so literally, roughly, £50 each time I went. But I have to say, there will be some jewellery. Let's get the first thing out of the way, because it's pretty amazing. Never found one of these before. Never really been looking for them, to be honest. I got one of them. £2. I looked into it. I did when I got home because I thought, I bet there's nothing in it. Always, it's got all of the cards, like the rare ones. And if I'm right in what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing on them sold, although prices do vary hugely, there's still quite a bit of value in that, particularly as it's got all the cards. It's got Mike Tyson, it's got John McEnroe, it's got Edward Senna, it's got them all. I checked, so that should make it worth a reasonable amount of money. It's quite heavy though, so it's going to take some posting, which is why I don't normally do games. But as you can see, I've had 2 games. So, but I really don't want to do games unless they're really that good. So that will probably pay for the lot. So everything else is gravy. Remember these? These were Lidl's trainers. Still going for decent money. These need a little bit of a clean up around the toes. There's very little wear on them. I reckon somebody wore them once as an outfit for a bit of a joke and then never wore them again. They're also quite a decent size. They are a 10 UK and they're really loud. They are loud. I thought, well, that's something. I thought, again, they were, I think I paid £3 for these and £2 Further matching jumper. So £5 for all of these. Preliminary research on these looks quite good. Let's put it that way. So I'm pretty happy with that because this is a large. I mean, God, that's an eyeful, really. Little jumper. Basically looks like if it got worn once. I'd say it's a bit of a joke, it's probably the same person who wore the shoes. But, who knows? Right, what else did we find? I think I bought this because I quite liked it, which is never a good reason to be buying everything. But this is like a shirt. And it's by Gifted Heroes. But it has all that on it. It's the check, it's quite cool. It's got lots of buttons on the cuff. Little logo there. And it has this on the back. The only slight downside of this on the back is, as you can probably see, it is missing some of the rhinestones. So that might be a fail, but it really cost me very little money. And it might be something that I end up wearing. So I'm not too bothered particularly about that. That was kind of like, oh, I quite like that. Something that I probably won't be wearing, but somebody else might. I know very little about vintage t-shirts. I know this one's vintage because single stitch. I know it's not a Gildan one, which is nice. This is Rock Tees, 100% cotton, extra large. And not only is Mr. Tupac on the front with a glorious, powerful saying there, he's also on the back. Again, with more stuff. Is there something different on the back? Everything you do, let's go back to yourself. Oh no, it's the same thing. Okay. That was a quote from him in 1996. So I'm not sure exactly what year this was made. Probably 96. Can't find any other labels anywhere. It's a seamless one, so it hasn't got anything on the inside. So if that's from 96, I think that's quite cool. There are people who very much like this sort of thing, and this is a bit faded. It's been wash worn, but I'm sure someone will love it. I couldn't leave it behind. I think it was £1 or something, like £1. So, slightly outside my comfort zone, to be honest. This was something I liked the look of. This is actually made in Japan. Harashi kimono. So it's a kimono. It's very lightweight style, but I do like a kimono with the proper sleeves. It feels like it's cotton. So it can double as a dressing gown, obviously. It is just a fairly plain cotton one, but it had its original belt with it, and it was literally a couple of quid, so I wasn't going to leave it behind. I rather like a kimono. I think they're very cool things. Maybe a little bit of fading towards the bottom edge there. Kind of cool. Oh, I'm putting things now. I'm sticking them under the desk. That tea will be cold by now. Yeah, it's cold. Right. It's a bit of an overload of things what I bought, but I kind of think if I don't do it now, I won't get around to it. So I'm far too busy. I just don't have the time. This is a label I like to pick up. Noah. Always goes well for me. And this is actually one of those fairly plain navy blue dresses. Pop over style tunic. 3/4 sleeve. I thought it was rather nice. Size 40, which I'm not entirely sure what size that is. That might be a 12 or 14. It's got all the proper labels in, and it's, yeah. Now that's clever. Why is that cotton then? I see. Okay, so it has it got 2 layers in it? Or has it not? Sorry, I'm being confused here because it's telling me viscose rayon elastane, and then 100% cotton. I'm wondering where the 100% cotton is then. I have no idea. But that's a very simple style. And no one knows a brand that people like. It doesn't hang around in my shop for long. Another one. This was kind of a dressing gown, really, and I don't pick up every bit of Ted Baker, but it's B by Ted Baker, which presumably is their bedtime range. This is silk, though. Again, it's a little kimono style shorty dressing gown. Butterflies all over it. Grey and pink. Really, really cute. People who like cute. Not particularly me. But again, I believe it's silk. Size 12 to 14. 100% silk. So I thought someone might like that. It's not very wintry, admittedly. But too good not to. For the couple of quid that it was. I'm saying that because on average things work out to be about £2. Again, this is possibly somewhat out of season now. And the buttons are coming down. But this was an unusual and cute design that I thought someone would really like. And layering cardigans are very much a thing. Oh, hello, Chrissy. Oh, bless. Yeah, I've sort of put 2 hauls on. This was Saturday and Sunday of this bank holiday weekend just gone. So I went and spent what for me is a decent amount of money, but the returns on it should be also pretty decent, which is profit margin is everything in my game. Come on. There we go. Trying to get the buttons on so I can show you this properly. I'm really bad with tiny buttons. Too fiddly by half. Need a button hook really. Okay, so this is a very cutesy little sailboats cardigan, thin layers. This is by J. Crew. Again, I don't necessarily pick up everything by J. Crew, but I thought this was sweet and interesting and that someone would love. It seems to have lost its inner labels, which is fine, but I would say that's going to be a mixture of cotton and wool. Unless it says differently. Oh, 100% wool, there we go. Its label's at the top. So that's 100% wool, but very thin knit. Very cute. If you like that sort of thing. Cashmere territory. I came across a gathering of cashmere at the bottom of the bag. So I bought it. There's this one. Now this one I like, but it has got a tiny hole in the back, which is annoying because obviously at the time I didn't really have time to look properly, which is my silly mistake. But I could do a tiny repair and possibly sell it anyway. Future Paradise is the brand. I don't know the brand. I'll research and see if it's worth doing it. It's definitely got bobbling issues, but I tend not to use a debobbling machine on cashmere because then it just takes the whole of the pile off, and then you end up with a very flat sort of feel to it. So I tend to pick it off by hand. So that's one that needs a repair. It was this one that was rather lovely. This is quite an unusual style. Old Navy. Now, Old Navy stuff normally I wouldn't particularly seek out. There's nothing remarkable about it, but this is cashmere, so it's kind of like any brand of cashmere will do. And just, I can't do this up, but it's got a little kind of button-down collar, which is an unusual design again. A shorter sleeve, a button-down collar. Really, really cute. This one came with no holes, I'm delighted to say, and it's a size medium. So obviously when I photograph them, I go over them very carefully because I might have missed an hole. Cashmere again. This is a cardigan, John Lewis, women, size 12, blue. This is a cardigan sort of thing that is great bread and butter, does sell well. top hole's got a bit enlarged actually, but that's probably, it's not really neither here nor there. It's just a nice little blue cardigan, 100% cashmere. Thank you very much. So I was very impressed to find those. Oh, this intrigued me. Jaeger. I do find Jaeger's knitwear is, has a following. And unusually, this is one in cream that appears not to have any marks or holes. I will give it a much closer inspection. It does need debobbling, but it's unusual because it's got this sort of a neck on it. It's like cow neck / neck. And this is 80% wool with, 90% wool with 10% cashmere. So always a good banker sort of brand. Jaeger, it's in good order. But there is bobbling work to be done. Gosh. Right, getting there. Do a bit of jewellery at the end from this haul. I picked this up because I thought this was amazing. There's lots of people that love their embroideries. This has a very Japanesey sort of cherry blossom feel. All on the front. It's been creased up in my bag for a couple of days, so it's not looking its best. And the light beige colour. Nice neutral, go with all sorts of things, but shades of pink and purple in the flowers. And it's a brand called Madeline, which is reasonably good. But that was more sold to me on style. It's also on the sleeves. It's probably a bit summery now, but I just thought it was good. It was a good thing. Oops. There's a very precarious pile going on underneath my desk. Oh. Yeah, I think these were like on a 50p pile. I just picked them up. They're Dickies and they're shorts. They're kind of cargo work shorts. I think people need these. Always want them. They're in a fairly big size. 36, 38, can't quite tell, it's in red. But they're clearly unworn. They've got that stiffened cotton feel about them. And again, when you're getting stuff for, sort of 50p a pound, it's silly not to, really. And is that the last thing? Yeah. This was just something I picked up because I thought, ooh, that's different. This is Puma, but it's some sort of collaboration. But look what it's got on the front. Is that anything to do with Apple? No idea. It's like a bit of toweling. It really is weird. Toweling apple on the front, and the collaboration is Dee and Ricky. Again, I don't know them, but I just thought that was unusual. It comes with all this. I don't know how old it is. Dee and Ricky's Puma Whimsical World. I'm sure I've had something from them before. It looked familiar. But I just thought the apple was kind of quite bizarre. And we like a bit of bizarre. So there was that. Okay, that's it on the clothes. Then he has jewellery. Oh, itchy nose. I always get itchy nose. Luckily I'm wearing skirts, so I can just dump this lot out and show you. I should perfect the kind of, like when Lex does her sparkly bits, and I absolutely adore it because she is all shot downwards and very clever. This is actually a belt. Yeah. But these are kind of glass stones in there. And I just thought that was kind of cool. Just clips on to make whatever size you want, which is always a good thing in a belt, but it's flexible. It's a bit festively, a bit boho, but you could wear that any time of the year, really, if you like that look. I'll just stick that back in here and repack as we go. Oh man, itchy nose. Sorry. There was this. Now this is kind of strange because it's very much a mix. This part is celluloid, which is an early form of plastic, and these beads appear to be bone. But I'll have to look at them more closely because I'm not showing you very well at all. I will have to look at them more closely. Make sure they're not ivory, but I'm pretty sure they're not. I've got ivory and I know what it looks like. The main reason I have ivory is so I know what it is when I see it. But these don't have quite the same. They're much rougher. So I think it's sort of bone with celluloid, which is a strange combination. Very plasticky, that bit. But that just intrigued me. I just thought, oh, that's interesting. I like trying to learn about all the different materials that people use. Right, okay, what have we... Oh, yeah, these were lovely. I paid £3 each for these. That doesn't keep very good time. Ah, I've got it upside down. Ay. Right, okay. That one stopped. Didn't wind it enough. Right, these are both manual watches, much nicer than batteries. And definitely vintage. Very difficult to see that. I just thought it was beautiful. It has a little safety chain. It has textured metal on the gold tone finish. And my eyes are failing me here, but this is Everright, which I've not heard of, but it does say 17 jewels, Inca block, Swiss made. So all sort of quality things. I just kind of think these things are probably due a little bit of a comeback. I know people use their phones, but this is kind of party jewellery. And they work. So, yeah. Yeah, that one was nice. The other one I think is even better. If I can put it back together again. Because sorry, it's all a bit tangled up on each other. Right, if I can actually show you and get it right. This is rolled gold. A really nice, strange form of attachment for the... There we go. It kind of comes out like that. Some of it is stainless steel, as you can see, but there's rolled gold on all the other bits. And this particular watch is keeping good time, I'm very pleased to say. There we go. Don't know which way up it is. It's too blurry, I'm sorry. This is a Seiko. This is Dia Shock 17 jewels. I thought that was rather lovely. You know, it's quite small, it's quite delicate, but again, very vintage, and it's working. So, yeah, I don't know, might be a fail, but I just think some of these things are so beautiful, they deserve another life. So there were those. And then things that I did pick up. What does that sound like? I can't remember. Oh yeah, this was a Sarah Coventry. Fairly plain, but I don't know, rather sweet. This I picked up because it's a scarab, and I couldn't resist a scarab. It's not branded, but it is enamel. Some of these things may very well end up in vintage lots. But, you know, I was just picking things up because this was unusual. Bit of enamel, bit of gold tone. It reminds me of that honesty. You know, the seeds of the honesty, the papery things. I think that's what that is. There's no branding on that. But really very sweet. So again, I'm just collecting things as and when. They may very well go in bundles and lots. I'll sell something separately, but I can't sell everything separately. I haven't got the time. Right. Okay. This was me sort of going through. I think these are probably silver plated. I don't think they actually belong on this card. Rather nice big hoops. They polish up beautifully. Again, they may end up in a lot, but I thought they were rather handsome. They weren't actual silver, but you know, worth a punch. Yeah, some of these are nice earrings, but they're not. I may test some of them just to make sure. These are rather cute little glass balls and danglies. Oops. You know, it's just when you're going, this I need to test. This is marcassite ring. I think it was missing one. I'm pretty sure there was one that was missing. But I like that, and I think that is possibly silver. Can't see any marks, but again, marks wear away when they're very old. Yeah, this is obviously my testing pile. There's a very small bracelet, which I think probably isn't. It's trying to be silver and isn't. I've got some cute earrings here. Again, it was on the off chance. You know, I was literally picked a bundle and paid very little for it. So if there happened to be something good in there, that would be quite the bonus. Is that missing the rhinestone? I do hope it isn't. Just a fault in the production of the heart. Again, I thought these were quite cute and took a chance. They're not silver though, but they are really sweet little heart danglies. Again, a kind of vintage necklace. That is really unusual. Is it a D? Rocky type thing. I will test these. I've got a feeling they're probably unsilver. There's another little bracelet there. Came the bundle again, probably unsilver, and these are sadly ungold. Although I will do a test just to be sure. A little pair of knotty earrings. A little pair of roses. I know they're not gold now. I've looked at them, and they're with these, but they have gold posts and. Someone could have put different backs on them. But no, I don't believe that any of those are anything special, but they're rather sweet, they're rather vintage, and they will pop up in the bundle at some point. I think that ring might very well be silver though. I test everything because you can't always tell. I think this next bundle basically was, I think the whole lot was about £1. All of them, but I just picked out the ones I liked. I think someone had cleared the shop of earrings, and I liked the style of these, so I picked them out because I'll either sell them separately or pop them into a lot. Nice big boho dingly danglies, very big danglies, I have to say. Gosh. Not silver or anything, but just really cute. I really rather like the phoenix and the flames here. I'm assuming it's a phoenix. There's the following for phoenix is phoenix eye. Another pair of those danglies, the same as the ones I showed you just now. There are a couple of dupes in here. Oh, and a couple of escapees as well. Get in. It's more a style thing, and because I paid next to nothing for them, I couldn't be asking much for them, clearly. Get in, there we go. Nice little danglies, just like that simple design with a bit of enamel. And the same. Again, more danglies with a bit of black enamel. These are just so effective. You really can finish off an outfit. I liked these because they were like a half moon. I mean, how amazing are these with the fat in my hand? They're just so cool. Just so cool. Good weight to those as well. Substantial earrings. There was 2 pairs of those. And then some cute ones. Need a bit of a clean up on one of these. Oh, let's show you the backs of them. That's really intelligent. They were little stars that has a little bit of something on it, which I will get rid of. I might have all of those for £1, so I might do some sort of multi-listing for them, or I might end up going into, they're not vintage, but I end up going into a lot. I did like this Phoenix ones, I might sell those separately. We'll see. Depends how the mood takes me and how much stock I find in the next few weeks as to what I decide to sell separately and what I think, don't need to. Now, other stuff I found which was a little better, and I separated it out. For these things. It's polished up quite nicely. I believe it's rolled gold. Again, it's really cute. It's got, get my big fizzle out of the way, it's got tiny little hearts on it. Really cute, just a band bracelet, little bashed up in place. It was rolled gold, so for next to nothing, why not? Now this was something, this was very strange. It's a kind of a necklace that has a ball that moves. Yes, how very strange. Oh, and slides down. Didn't really understand it. Didn't really get it at all. Just thought it might be silver, and it is actually Cham 925 Cham. I think that's a brand. Someone says a bit like Pandora and that sort of thing. So I will research and investigate, see how that works. But that can be made to whatever size you like. That is 925 silver, so I'm quite pleased with that. Because none of this cost me much. I think this was 50p, and I saw it, they were all very dark and very kind of spoiled looking. But that is gorgeous. That's like moons. Hammered silver discs on a silver chain. It is 925. Unsigned, sadly, because if you made something that's beautiful, wouldn't you want to sign it? But it is on an old C clasp, and it does say sterling. It says sterling. It's probably older than something that says 925. I love that. That's possibly something I might keep. So there we go. Those are the hauls and all of the hauls. Until next weekend, when I'll probably go out and buy some more. Stockpiling, as I said, for the coming season. Getting things in. Slider. Yes, Karen, that's right. Definitely a slider. Really nice. So they're the quality bits, and the others are all interesting and need a bit of research and a bit of testing, and some testing there. And I will get round to that. I usually do a whole load of testing at one time. I get all the chemicals out because I'm a bit clumsy and I haven't got the space. But that was all of it. I've literally taken up an hour to go through all of that. Oh, no worries, Andrea. I hope everything's going all right for you anyway, and you can always catch up. I like having these things on while I'm doing my drafts, while I'm sort of getting my listings done. I usually watch at the same time. So, but yeah, I'm quite tired really. Some solid days of boot sailing, plus running about for hospitals for a friend, and generally not having a moment to myself. So yeah, that's me for today. I'm going to try and chill and not do too much. So thanks everyone for joining me. Hope you're all well. Hope you all have lovely boot finds yourself, and that the weather holds for the weekend for the next lot of boot fairs. So take care and taddy bye, and I will see you soon. Bye bye now.